Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going through the side leg lift 101. You're joined by Guy and Frank. This is a common exercise that we see a lot, both within physio and within strength and conditioning world. You might also know it as a hip abduction raise, a side leg raise, or as we're calling it for today, a side leg lift. Okay. So this exercise should be primarily targeting the glutes to help strengthen it. But what we're going to work through now is some of the main common mistakes that we see with this exercise, and also give you some of the key corrections so that we can really help to optimize this exercise for you. So without further ado, Frank, let's start to work through some reps here. Let's have a little look. So first thing, if we look at when we start to come into this lift, you can see Frank there, he's nicely keeping the knee extended. Sometimes what we'll see is where the knee starts to flex a little bit, and also the leg can creep forward. So as we come up there, we see we've lost that really nice length and shape. So with this one, it's just giving a bit of a verbal cue to say, first of all, okay, can we lock the knee out? So really take that knee into full extension. And also then, as we're lifting the leg there, Frank, could you see your foot or your toes as you're coming up? Yeah. So as a general rule, we'd say if you can see your toes, it means your leg is coming in front of your body. And that's actually moving into hip flexion, which is not what we want, because we're trying to attack the hip abductors and the hip extensors here. So taking the foot out of visibility, if we just slide that foot back now from a starting positions perspective, that helps to bring Frank now really into a nice straight line from ear to ankle. Okay. The other important thing here is how we set up the base leg. So you might well see or feel at times where your pelvis might be well just rolling back like this. And if you start your reps there, Frank, yeah, so that's a common one that we see a lot. What can you feel working as you do that? Yeah. So we tend to feel that in this front area of the hip, this muscle called the TFL, or tensor fascia lata, or even down into the quads, and that is not what you should be feeling when you do this exercise. Okay, so to do that, yeah, we need to stack those hips like Frank's just done. But one thing that can help with that is this bottom leg position. Now Frank's already got this in the optimal shape here, but sometimes we might see it where you're starting off in that sort of shape with the foot out in front of you, which is just going to really destabilize your pelvis and make it hard to create that stability in the right areas. Whereas if we bring that foot back under, if you imagine like a tripod, yeah, from front to back here, we've now got stability on front and back either side, which helps to then give a bit more stability here through the pelvis, so that we can then actually get that glute med muscle, the gluteus medius, contracting. Okay, so that's looking good, Frank. Go on then, let's have a little look at that shape. So as we're coming up and in there, okay, so one thing just to talk about here is then the lower back. So can you see at the moment how Frank, as he lifts the leg, we're getting this kind of concertina effect in here. If you imagine like someone playing the accordion, yeah, it's kind of coming in and out. And that's where patients might sometimes say, or you might feel like your lower back is working and engaging, and again, it shouldn't be. So to help prevent that, this is a big muscle in here, it's called the QL, or the quadratus lumborum. To help prevent that, what we can do is, if Frank, you bring your hand onto the side of the pelvis here, from front to back, and as you lift the leg this time, I want you to really think about just keeping that pelvis, or stopping that hip, that pelvis, coming up towards your shoulder. Try and think about, there's a spring coil in here, and we need to try and keep that really nice and open, and then lift through. Okay, and then check in again. So does that change the feel of things? Yeah, how? Fantastic. So we've sort of down-regulated the muscle activation and recruitment in the lower back, and we've up-regulated it in the glute. So that's another thing that we can look at in terms of trying to really optimize this exercise. And then another thing can be tempo. So again, if we look at some reps here, just moving through some speed. So again, patients will often, when you're doing this exercise, you want to get your reps done as fast as you can, more bang for buck. But actually, There's not enough slow time under tension there to really make a difference. So we need to just look at trying to slow this down a little bit, yeah? Even maybe reduce the rep range, looking at more of a quality over quantity type approach. The other thing then, so if we look at that slower tempo, but again, let's just push that foot behind you. So hide the toes. That's it, nice. Sometimes as well, actually getting hands-on with the glute. So if you pop your thumb in there for me, Frank. And then trying to really squeeze the glute muscle before you even lift, and then slowly draw it up. Find an analogy that I'm going to give you is thinking about your leg as if it's a drawbridge, yeah? And we're trying to really keep the drawbridge long and draw up through that glute muscle. That's really good. And Frank's getting a really strong contraction in here. Can you feel that, Frank? Wonderful. Keep that knee locked out. Long lever. We talk about a telescopic leg. Nice. Well done. Okay, so there is, in a nutshell, some of the common mistakes that we see with the side leg lift. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please feel free to give us a like and subscribe, and we'll check in again soon.